Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing well. We're going to go over the market and I'm going to share with you my swing ideas for tomorrow. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer, here it is, to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for it is in the description below. Let's go ahead and turn to the charts and get started. I am going to be talking about the MSOS by popular demand. I mean, I've heard from a lot of people that are interested in it, so I will be talking about the MSOS ETF. All right, if you find benefit in today's video, please be sure to hit the like button. If you have any questions for us, make sure to email us info@t3live.com. And lastly, if you're new to our channel, please be sure to subscribe and follow us for more trading education videos. All right, here we go. So first we'll start off by going over the market real quick. We have a weekly buy setup underway that almost got to the prior highs and is struggling a little bit thanks to Tesla. Tesla dropped a lot on Friday, as you can see, but the uptrend is still intact on the hourly chart. The weekly, we have a buy setup. The daily also broke the downtrend. We took out that big red bar. We put in a higher low, higher than the initial low. And once we took out the red bar, that means we also have a higher high. So the bias should be bullish, but the market is struggling a little bit. So we really shouldn't take out Friday's low on the Qs. On the SPY, probably not below 448.75. If we do, it's not that I'm going to turn bearish, but if we do, it means, we're going to probably base for a while until the 20 MA on the daily chart catches up, and then, if we break down, that is. But I'm not going to turn bearish that easily because we have rising moving averages on almost every time frame in an uptrend on the monthly, weekly, daily, and hourly chart. But just the last few days, the market has been going sideways. So if we break down, that means we're not yet ready to resume the uptrend, and more consolidation is probably gonna happen. So either bullish if we continue higher, or neutral, depending on whether we break down or continue the uptrend. That's gonna be my bias for this week. In terms of the list of stocks, and in this case the MSOS, the ETF, here's what I think. Okay, MSOS in 3 bars, and really 1 or 2 bars, broke this long-term downtrend. Okay, on the daily chart, broke the downtrend on the weekly chart. While I don't like the pattern that much, because when I see a base breakout, and this was a base breakout, I like it to come. I don't like it to come from the lows. I like it to come from the highs. So when you have a base and then you have a base breakout, I don't like to have the base breakout come from the bottom. I like it to come from after a consolidation at the top and then to get a pop. So this base breakout happened from the lows, which means I don't like it that much, but we have room to $15, almost $15. So I think higher in the meantime. The longer it consolidates without pulling in, the more likely we are to go higher. I like the hourly chart, but again, the longer it consolidates here, the more likely we are to get to that $14 point. Whenever you have a strong bullish move that breaks multiple pivots in one fell swoop, that means the stock, or in this case the ETF, is in a presumed automatic downtrend. Again, when you have a strong move that breaks 2 or more resistance levels, that puts that stock or ETF in a presumed automatic downtrend, and usually the next entry is playable. Otherwise, we normally need 2 or more higher highs and higher lows, higher pivot highs, higher pivot lows, before we can call that an uptrend. So this is now already in a presumed uptrend, even though we don't have any pivots. And I like it higher, but again, I told you why I don't like it that much, and I told you what would make it look even better, which is further consolidation. Okay, so that's the MSOS. That's my opinion. You asked for it. There it is. I hope that's helpful. Here's some of the other items that I like swing for tomorrow and this whole week. By the way, as usual, I posted my entire daily watch list in the video description, but I'm just going to go over the ones that I think are most ready for tomorrow. We got ABCM. Notice, the hourly base breakout, that looks pretty. It's not perfect because of the big move up here and the gap down, but it looks pretty. Long over 22.90 or so, just over the base, stop under the pivots, and target about 24 and some change, 24.50 on the ABCM. AER looks pretty sloppy, but it's actually a weekly buy setup. So I like it over this bar's high, which is 62.90. Maybe I ought to play it like over 62.35, stop under 59.73, and target the prior highs. That's a weekly buy setup on the AER. By the way, I don't have oil on this list because they already broke out. I mean MRO, I mean COP. They have monthly buy setup plus a 1, 2, 3. So it's not too late on MRO. COP has a 1, 2, 3 on the monthly, which means long over that bar, stop under it, and also a weekly base breakout. So a lot of the oil stocks look good. I also have FTI, but I've had it for a couple months now since that breakout. So it's been a while. But oil looks good. The reason why I thought of oil is because I noticed I don't have a single one on the list because they've already triggered on Friday or earlier last week. But AER looks good. AMBA gap down and is bullying the gap, getting bought. So I like it higher over Friday's high, stop under Friday's low, pretty much. So over 64.05. I would say instead of Friday's low, I take that back. Let's see. Actually, that it could still be Friday's low. So let's take a look. 61.90 and then 61.90 instead of 62. So over Friday's high, stop under 61.90, and the target is about $70. I think that's how Twilio bottomed. Had a very bearish gap down and just bullied the gap. I'm in Twilio long. You see what I mean? Had a bearish gap down under a couple green bars and bullied the gap. And I think it bottomed. So a lot of times, even when you think, oh, it's a bullish gap, it ends up being the top. In this case, I guess it gapped down. Netflix didn't gap up, so ignore. ARK, we played the ARK and got out at 50 from over here. It was a really nice trade. It pulled in a lot. I'd like to get back in it because I like the monthly on ARK. I like the weekly, but it's not perfect. Here's the weekly buy setup, triggered already. There's an entry, again, it's triggered already, but over 44.33, stop under 42.70, and target maybe 48, maybe 50, maybe long term also, because the monthly is looking good on ARK. CTLT, a little bit late. We played the CTLT back here as a breakout and held it for a while, and then I think we got trailed out over here probably. But CTLT looks like it bottomed to me. Look at the monthly on CTLT. So I like it basically higher over 50.60. It's already exceeded it. Over 51. Stop under 42.40 as a long-term trade. Target would be the 20 MA on the monthly chart. Or we could just do over this bar's high, 51. Stop under 47.30. That would be a much tighter stop. Target still $60. NVCR, another one of those gap downs that is getting bought a little bit at least, and now has a base breakout. So over the base, okay, over the base, stop under, super tight stop, target the 20 MA on the NVCR. Oracle is going to the moon, I think. I mean, it's already almost reached to the moon. Look at the move on Oracle this year, amazing. Still looks higher. There's a tiny little base breakout setting up on Oracle. So over the base, stop either under it, or I would give it more room to the bottoming tail bars low. That's how I would play the Oracle. Over the base, stop under the doji bar. RIVN is a weekly buy setup. I wish I bought the RIVN when it popped over here. I normally don't play weekly buy setups if they are still under the declining 20 on the daily chart. That blue line is the declining 20 on the daily chart. So that's why I didn't do it, but in hindsight, I wish I had, because it looks good. The RIVN looks solid. So long over 23.76, stop under 21.98, and I'd hold it long term, but maybe target one about $27 or so on the RIVN. ROKU, is looking good. I played it on the gap up, held it, and finally sold it. And now I'm looking to get back in it. I like it higher, over 82.50. I'm sorry, over 82.60. Stop under 77.80. And I like the ROKU a lot as a long-term play. That's the monthly chart. Down so much, but it's starting to curl. The 20 MA starting to, flattened out, and it's been basing for about a year. So it looks, or half a year. It looks good. Over the base, it's not quite over the base. I would just do it over Friday's high, stop under Friday's low on the ROKU. And last but not least is the SAM, which is also a longer term play because of the monthly chart. It dropped from like $1,300, $1,350 to I don't know what the lowest point was, $287, and it's been basing. It looks ready to go to me, but it does need to take out ultimately 378, and the stop would go under 349 as a long-term play. It's very, very thin, very illiquid, but again, when it's a long-term play, I don't mind so much because I wouldn't be looking to get in and out quickly. So it'd be a longer-term play. From this list, I'm only looking to play one symbol actually. If you're a subscriber, you can log on to your online portal and you'll see which symbol I actually picked for tomorrow. But they all look, pretty good. All right, here's the shorts. We got just a few here. We got AU, which is gold. Let's go back to the daily chart. So short under the base, stop above it, okay, and target the monthly prior low, which is about $12, $13, let's just say, on the AU. Better yet, I think FMC is a 1, 2, 3 short. So I like it under 85.60, stop over 87.35 as a 1, 2, 3. Has plenty of room to drop. PBI is a 1, 2, 3, but I don't like it as much. So check out the PBI. It's kind of neat because the low here is 327. The low here is 327. So, okay. So under 327, short, stop over 334 and target about 280 or so, I would say. That's the PBI. SONO is a base breakdown. So under the base, whatever the lowest point is, stop above the base. Okay, and above the base means probably over 1410, and short under the base. A target has a sell setup. I think target based on the monthly chart is headed down to $100 or so, maybe even lower, depending on what the market ends up doing. So I like the target lower, has a sell setup. So short under the base right here on the hourly chart, so under Friday's low, which is 125, let's just say. Stop would be over 127.70 and target about $100. I called Disney short on Friday, and unfortunately it gapped below the entry. Similar, not as good as Disney is better than Target because it's under the 20 already, weaker with the massive breakout failure over here. But unfortunately I didn't get it because it gapped below my entry. So Target reminds me a little bit of the Disney trade that was not meant to be. All right, guys, that will do it for today. I hope, again, you enjoyed today's video, found benefit in it. If you have any questions, reach out by emailing customerserviceinfo@t3live.com. Okay? And that will do it. Hope to see you on the next video. Take care, everybody. Good luck with your trading next week.